Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren and I'm in a really good fucking mood today. But one of the things that happened recently, which was the update for patch 7.3. Now, well, there's even more information that was talking about patch 8.0. And if there's more information coming out on that, besides just random forums of people talking and discussing of what could be possible leaks. Now, if that ever happens, then we'll definitely cover it in the channel. But for today's video, I want to talk about patch 7.3, which it's kind of crazy that we have only had patch 7.25 for what, 3 weeks now? This is, I believe, the third week of the new patch. So the fact that we have so much information already coming out for the next patch is kind of crazy. But I guess it makes sense because Blizzard has been a little bit more, I would say, active when it comes to updates and content, and that's always good for the game. Now, there's a lot of things to cover with 7.3, and not only from a general content perspective, but also from somewhat of a PvP perspective. So let me cover all the basics. You have some of the things like Story of Argus being added, and as we know, patch 7.3, some people speculated that Argus could be its own expansion, but they made Argus a part of the patch, which is awesome. They also said new world quest, profession updates, which I'm not really keen on because I don't really do professions. And there's Netherlight Crucible, which allows you to upgrade your artifact to unlock new ways to customize your relics. And I guess that's where we're talking about maybe more relics added to the game. They did talk about patch 7.2 and 7.25 adding relics where there's 2 slots, so it would add an extra point into 2 different abilities, so you can technically customize your relics. But for the most part, the customization didn't really go anywhere past getting the best cookie cutter build. So I'm not really sure how much customization technically can they add to the game. I'm hoping there'll be a lot more in the future, but not a lot we can really say currently. They also added a whole new dungeon called Seed of the Triumvirate, or Triumvirate. I can't say that properly the first time, and I'm pretty sure probably most people are gonna call it SOT for Seed of Triumvirate or whatever. New raid also being added, which is Antorus the Burning Throne, which is awesome because the Burning Throne makes you think of Legion. We can only guess who might be on that Burning Throne. I don't really know if we'll ever be able to fight Sir Garrus himself, because we did get to fight him in TOS, the Avatar. But Sir Garrus himself, that'll be very, very interesting to see where the story for World of Warcraft goes. And the fact that we also have another raid that's going to be better than Tomb of Sir Garrus, that's just crazy. And there's a lot of names being thrown out. Antorus, we have the Seed of Triumvirate, whatever the hell all that stuff is, but it's going to dwell more into the story, and I think eventually it's going to start showing us more signs of the next possible World of Warcraft expansion. You also have new innovation points, which is a new type of replayable content that lets you fight in Legion on multiple different worlds. So we are going to the way where we are getting away from Azeroth and actually going to fight not only on Argus as a content, but also in other areas of, I guess, the universe, the Warcraft universe of the planets. So that'd be pretty exciting. They also said several other improvements and updates to existing features, but that probably means a lot more nerfs and buffs regarding to PvP in most cases. Anyway, let's take a look at the next picture. We have one of the exciting things happening for PvP is a fox mount, a vicious war fox added for both Horde and Alliance. And I guess this is for anybody who still hasn't got the Prowler fox that you get from your emissary quest. So if you still haven't unlocked your fox mount in Legion, then I guess in patch 7.3, just 100 arena wins in 3s or 40 in RBGs would give you the fox mount for your faction. I hope they don't put too much heavy of Horde or Alliance armor, or if they do put a lot of armor in it, I hope it's more stylized rather than just recolors, which is what Blizzard has been known to do before. But that's actually interesting to put a fox mount as a war PvP mount, even though a fox doesn't really say much about the World of Warcraft. And there's also a lot of information they added about Argus. We have a whole list of different things from some different isles, Grove of Nure, Exodus Point, Darkfall Regi. It gives you some ideas of some of the different zones that I guess you'll be playing around with once patch 7.3 comes out. There's also an introduction to Azure Mist Isle, which is a default graveyard for Alliance, and not Horde, I believe Horde gets another item, but it's a list of interesting locations. And I'm not somebody who really sits down to look at different, I guess, locations to speculate what's it like, but I'm pretty sure somebody who knows better about the lore and the story of the planet Argus might be able to point out a few things about the exciting things. I just want to kind of bring it to light to anybody who is interested. And don't we have an Azure Mist Isle on Azeroth? It's the area next to the Exodar for the Draenei. So I guess the fact that we have an Azure Mist Isle on Argus is going to be very, very interesting to see how that all goes down. But overall, the patch looks like it's going to be very exciting, and the fact that Blizzard is pretty excited about the content is going to be pretty damn good. Now, I guess for this last part, some of the things that I would want to see for the patch 7.3. Now, there's a lot of content that's coming out in 7.3. We have the raiding content, which is a whole new raid, and I'm pretty sure we'll know more about it. So I'm going to speculate it's going to be at least TOS size, if not better than TOS. If it's smaller than TOS, that'd be pretty ridiculous. I hope the new dungeon isn't as bad as Cathedral. Now, Cathedral is a good dungeon. It's very interesting to the lore and story, and I'm not the kind of guy that cares about PvE, so the fact that I even say anything about Cathedral should probably be enough. But I remember trying to push my keys, and every time we get Cathedral, we just have to roll back, see who has a lower key, and try to see if we push that, and hope we don't get Cathedral, because, damn it, I mean, I don't know what it is about the dungeon, maybe the way it was planned out, maybe the fights are just not that great, but most of the fixes end up making the whole experience very, very annoying. And I just played through Neltharin's Lair with teaming and that new fell explosive. Not that fun as a melee, but everybody needs an Outlaw Rogue once these fixes come in. I still would rather not have Cathedral type of dungeon, and maybe something more of what they did with Maw of Souls, maybe a Trial of Valor, everything they've done before Cathedral. Hell, even anything Karazhan like. So far, the way they've done those dungeons has been very, very enjoyable, and the experience has been great for the most part. But for PvP, I have the biggest concerns because we haven't seen too much except the Fox Mount. I do hope they add either more content, as in arenas or battlegrounds, which I doubt they will. But I feel like the easy way to satisfy a lot of players is to take a look at so many of class and specialization specific honor talents and modify them, change them, buff them, and even replace the ones that are not used at all. And I feel like for PvP that'll be enough of variety to make the experience a lot more pleasant and a lot more, I guess, self-serving. You'll have the talents themselves giving you different metas and different playstyles, and specializations would have actual work on them in terms of adjusting the playstyle, adjusting the possibilities, but you give players on for themselves within arenas and BGs a lot more to play around with, and would freshen up the game without having to create new content. All they have to do is create new abilities and new ways to use them, and then from there just start bouncing up and down as needed. But I feel like new abilities, whether broken, overtuned, or undertuned, would be a great fresh restart for a lot of PvPers to give a little bit more life. Plus, they'll probably have more prestige to level with, so having more honor talents will be a lot for people to play around with, and a lot more entertainment in the long run. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Dalaran. This is giving you updates for patch 7.3. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.